أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض بل لا يوقنون أم عندهم خزائن ربك أم هم المسيطرون أم لهم سلم يستمعون فيه فليأت مستمعهم بسلطان مبين.
My dear respected Muslim brothers and sisters, and if there are any non-Muslims, Assalamu ala man ittaba al-huda. Our discussion today is to consider the proposition why man needs to recognize God. Now, to understand why we need to discuss this is because the world today consists of many human beings who are under the impression that either God doesn't exist or there is no need to believe in a God or to subscribe to belief in God. And while we Muslims consider this to be fundamentally incorrect and absurd, we cannot dismiss it as a concept. We have to address it as a concept. We have to do so because even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, even 5,000 years ago, there were people who believed the same way. We need to discuss the fundamental role of God and religion in the lives of human beings, and to show, reasonably so, that there is a fundamental role of a creator and a system of life from that creator in the lives of human beings. And we need to, by doing so, offer a general refutation of atheism. Now, I say a general refutation because it's not our responsibility here to make a detailed refutation of atheism or any other ism. At the same token, it is not our responsibility to prove to anybody that God exists or that religion is necessary in their lives, because the proof is not up to us. It's up to us to provide information. It's up to us to provide evidence. It's up to us to provide a reasonable background and definition. It's up to us to provide also some rational arguments, some historical references, to provide and point out a social paradigm, that is, point out through history social paradigms that reflected both propositions, and to make an ideological proposition and a conclusion. Now, I'm very glad that we have a full house, because that always inspires the speaker. But whether we speak to one person or whether we speak to 1,000, the proofs and evidences are the same. Now, from time immemorial, that is, based upon the earliest recorded history, man has demonstrated a need to understand and explore the principles and the underlying purpose of his existence. So this is not a new question. Human beings have, from the earliest recorded history, tried to understand and explore the principles and the underlying purpose of their existence. This exploration has included research into the origin of the universe and theories concerning the genesis of time itself. The answer to these central questions have been both a dilemma and a major preoccupation for thinkers, educators, and philosophers of every time and every age and every known civilization. History has produced basically two consistent propositions to explain this phenomenon. These two propositions have manifested themselves in different ways with various expressions. The first proposition of which is the idea that man is one of many of evolved species through a process recently referred to as natural selection, and that he, man, along with all other known or unknown elements in the universal order, are continuing to evolve and to exist without any provable purpose or external source or sponsor. This idea is the basic fundamental proposition of the atheist. For argument's sake, we can summarize and define all of the historical proponents, branches of this proposition as the dialectical materialist, whether it be communism, whether it be socialism, whether it be atheism or agnosticism. And it would include both the atheists and the agnostics, as well as others who have not chosen those particular names but still sit under the same tree. In the modern world, their ideas have emerged as systematic alternatives and an antithesis to the idea or the proposition of religion and the subsequent conviction of the existence of a supreme being. That is, they categorically reject the idea of religion, they categorically reject the idea of a supreme being. Historically, all of these movements have one thing in common: categorical denial and rejection of God and religion. The second idea or proposition is the one that we, Muslims, we invite the humanity to. And it is the idea or the proposition that man, as a creature, is one of the countless species that form the created cosmos. Created, not evolved. Created, that means designed, engineered, placed in the environment where it is for a specific reason, with a purpose, with a design, and with accountability. As such, man is chosen and mandated to fulfill a role within that creation. This idea or proposition says that man is a creature. As such, he has a creator. And that man is a microorganism of the greater creation, and it suggests that this greater creation also has a creator. For here we can use the word creator, sponsor interchangeably. In the same way that a student that could not afford to come to this university and pay the tuition fees may be sponsored by a foundation that pays their tuition. Is that correct? Therefore, a student that attends this university who has not the money to pay for their education comes here on a scholarship. Whomsoever pays that scholarship would be that student's sponsor. Is that correct? That student would in one way or another be obligated to the terms of that sponsor. So we can use the word creator and sponsor interchangeably here.